Hi everyone, thanks for watching Fridays on the Farm. This week we're covering our milking barn. Here you see our moms out in the pasture. We like to put them out on nice sunny days like this day, and we bring them in for dinner, and after dinner they get milked.
Good morning everyone. So today we are in our milking barn and we're going to be learning about our milking cows. You guys have already met the rest of the herd for the last 2 weeks, and today you guys are going to be learning about our milking cows. So in our whole herd we have about 120 cows on the whole property, and in this barn we have 60 spots. So we have about 60 milking cows at a time. So you guys will see that each cow kind of has their own stall in here. This is where they eat, and you can see their food right in front of them. This is where they sleep, and then this is where they get milked right in their own spots twice a day. They get milked in the morning, and they also get milked at night. And then in between all that time, the cows will go outside. Now, did you guys know that cows are creatures of habit? So when they come back in, they'll go to the exact same spot. But you always have the occasional troublemaker that will go to the wrong spot and will mess up the cows behind her. But most of them will go to the exact same spot when they come in. So if you guys have ever been here on a field trip or saw the cows out in the farm, you might have seen her. So this is Foxy. Foxy here is our oldest cow in the whole barn. And if you guys have ever been on a field trip here, you may have met her and got to pet her. So our cows are milked twice a day. They're milked in the morning, and then they're also milked again at night. Now, does anyone know what has to happen for our cows to make any milk at all? 3 things. Our cows have to eat food, they have to drink water, but they also, most important, have to have a baby. So cows are mammals just like us, and any mammal has to give birth before they produce any milk. Now, does anyone know where the milk is produced? That's right, so the milk is produced right in the udder. So the udder right here is made up of 4 parts. So there are 4 separate quarters within the udder. So this is the front part of the udder, and there's 2 parts here because you can see the 2 teeth. And then there also is 2 parts to the rear udder. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, but this big vein right here that connects to the udder, this is called the milk vein. This vein pumps blood to the udder for it to produce milk. Now, 500 gallons of blood has to get pumped through the udder to make 1 gallon of milk. That's pretty crazy. Now, we said that we milk our cows twice a day. Who thinks that we milk our cows by hand? That's how we would have done it back in the old days, and it would take a little bit longer, but nowadays we have helpful technology that will help us out. So we have milking machines, and we have 6 of them. So each machine milks about 10 cows in milking. The machine attaches to the cow's udder, and it has 4 parts because there's 4 parts to the udder and 4 teats. So each part of the udder attaches to the teats, and then the machine attaches to these pipes right here. Now, it attaches to the white PVC pipe and the silver pipe. Does anyone have a guess of what runs through either one of those? Well, milk runs through the silver pipe that runs through the barn, and air runs through the white pipe. Air is what makes our machines work. And that when we go to view the machines, you guys will see that there are they're called rubber inflations in the machine that go around the teat, and they cause the machine to do what is called a suction and a pulsation. And that does a motion like this around the teat. And that's what milks the cow out. So the milk flows through the machine, and once the flow of milk starts to slow down, the machine will pop itself off and hang itself back up. Here you can see one of our herdsmen getting ready to milk Foxy. So the first step is we clean off her teats using an iodine-based solution, and we'll clean that off with a rag. And then once they're all clean, we do what is called stripping out her teats. This does a couple of things. This stimulates her to let her milk down, and you can see the cup he's stripping into just to check to see if she has any chunks, which would be a sign that she has mastitis. Now you can see that Gilson is putting the machine on. With the machine, it takes about 4 to 6 minutes to milk out our cows. Our cows, depending on where they are in their lactation, will produce anywhere between 40 pounds to 100 pounds of milk, sometimes even more. Once the flow of milk starts to slow down, the machine knows to pop itself off and hang itself back up. We then dip her teats with what is called a post-dip, another iodine-based solution. Her teat openings stay open for 30 to 60 minutes after she's done being milked, so we want to prevent any infection. So our main goal when we are taking care of our cows is to make sure that they're happy, they're healthy, and they're as clean as possible. So everything we practice is to achieve that goal, and you guys will notice a few practices in the barn that help us to move towards that goal. So for example, you guys will see that the cows are all laying or standing on these cow mattresses that were put in a few years ago. So they're nice and squishy and they're a nice cushion. So for when the cows are in here and they're eating or they're getting milked or they're sleeping, they're nice and comfortable in their own individual stalls. And you might have noticed these things that look like rakes that are hanging over the cows. These are called trainers. So when a cow goes to the bathroom, she arches her back like this. So all this tells her to do is just take a step back and go to the bathroom in the gutter behind her, so she's not going to the bathroom in her spot. Because if she went to the bathroom in her spot, it's right where what is, right? It's right where her udder is. So we want to keep this area as clean as possible because that's where the milk comes from. So if she was to go to the bathroom right here, she could lay in it and it could get in her udder and stuff like that. So we try to keep them as clean as possible and happy and healthy. So you guys will notice that right in front of Foxy here, there is food, but there's also this tiny metal bowl. And cows are very smart. So cows actually use their nose to push this button and water comes out. So that's how the cows get their water in the milking barn. From the cow's udder comes the milk and it travels through the machine to this silver pipe. So let's follow the silver pipe and see where the milk goes next. So this is our milk room, and this is probably one of the cleanest rooms in the whole barn area. This room gets cleaned about 6 times a day, before milkings, after milkings, and during the day. Now, right next to me are our milk machines. So these are the machines that milk our cows out. And as I was saying earlier, each machine has 4 parts. So this is what attaches to the cow's teats. And you guys can see the rubber in there. So that's what milks the cows out, and that's the part of the machine that does the suction and the pulsation. So when the milk comes out of the cow, it takes about 4 to 6 minutes to milk out a cow, depending on how much milk she makes. So once the milk travels into here through the silver pipe, it travels through all of this machinery and hits this blue box up here. Now, where do we keep the milk at home? We keep it at the fridge, right? So milk does best at 36 degrees Fahrenheit. So this blue box is called a cooler. So that cools the milk down to about 36 degrees, and then it gets put into this tank right here. So this is a milk tank that's refrigerated, and this is where the milk waits to be picked up.
Now we're going to introduce you to some of our working moms here at the farm. So you'll notice that some of our cows are black and white and some of them are red and white. And so the breed of cows that we have here on the farm are red and white and black and white Holsteins. Here we have Misty and Maddie. Both of them are having a bite to eat before they're milked later this afternoon. Here we have Pop. And so we name our cows similar to what their mother's names were. So Pop has a mother named Crackle, and then there's also Snap. So it's Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Here we have Cinnamon and Sage. Sage actually just had a baby, and her baby's name's Juniper.
Next on our farm tour, you guys are going to see where the milk goes into the processing plant. So we have a truck that comes down here a couple times a week, connects to this machine, and brings it up to our processing plant. So I want to thank you guys for watching Fridays on the Farm this week. If you guys have any questions, please comment below, and we'll see you next week.